We thank God for His guidance that as we enter the Friday of the first week, that the first week of NYTS is about to come to pass. So it is about time for you and I to ask ourselves. Now we are almost at the halfway of this event. Have you found what you came here to look for? Have you reached the target or the goal that you aim for when you first get here? It is about time to ask yourself, have I tried hard enough in order to touch Jesus? Every year in NYTS, we have student come, student go, year after years. That as the worker, as the pastor, that we see student come, student go. Toward the end of the event, we always find some student leave here with great joy because that they have found the direction. They have found the direction, they have touched Jesus, and they were granted power to overcome temptations in the world. However, every year we also see students that they left here still feel fairly empty. So as we are reaching the midpoint of this event, please do spend some time in your prayer to ask yourself, am I climbing higher? Am I getting closer to the Lord? This morning, the morning Bible study is for John chapter 13. Let's all turn to John chapter 13. John chapter 13. The morning Bible study is for John 13, verse 23 to 38. John chapter 13 is a very important chapter in the Bible, because in John chapter 13 is the recording of the sacrament of the foot washing. Okay? That in here we found that out of the most sincere love, that Jesus washed the disciples' feet. But in the same chapter, we see the greatest love from Jesus, but we also see the greatest betrayal from Judas, who betrayed Jesus. We also found the greatest failure because in here that Jesus prophesied that Peter will deny him 3 times. So in chapter 13 is the greatest contrast between the love of God and the inadequacy of man. When we see that men were weak, frail, we betray him, we disappointed him, but Jesus only showed the greatest compassion and love through foot washing. So chapter 13 is a great reminder for you and I that how much he loves you. Let's go to John chapter 13. John chapter 13, verse 31. John chapter 13, verse 31. So when he had gone out, Jesus said, "Now the Son of Man is glorified, and God is glorified in him." So from chapter 13, verse 23 to 38, the passage that we studied this morning. If we want to give a title, a topic, a theme, I would use verse 31. That Jesus, the time for glory is now. It is the time for glory. It is time for Jesus to be glorified. because soon that he would be crucified on the cross. But at the same time, though that the statement was powerful, the statement was amazing when he said that it is a time for the Son of Man to be glorified. It was a powerful statement. But if you continue reading, that you found after Jesus said that the Son of Man is glorified, following by the statement that if you read verse 33, little children, I shall be with you a little while longer. You will seek me, and as I said to the Jews, where I am going, you cannot come. So now I say to you. That if we take these verses and combine them together, we found a problem. Yes, Jesus will be glorified, but you would not be able to follow. Jesus said that, yes, the Son of Man shall be glorified, but little children, I will be with you a little more, a little longer. Then, as I say to the Jew, where I go, you cannot come. Then that's the problem. There's a problem that, yes, as we see that Jesus will be in his heavenly kingdom in glory, but then Jesus said, but you know what, little children, you can't come. You cannot come. So knowing about God, knowing about church, knowing about Bible, knowing about salvation is one thing. Able to enter heavenly kingdom is another. So as much as we are here learning about the Bible, learning about the teaching, but unless we are able to reach the standard, unless we are able to obtain the goal that God reserved for you and I, you know, but you cannot be there. So it is very important for you and I to find out why. What are the reasons that we might not be able to enter the glory with the Lord? Only by knowing the problem, only by knowing where the issues might be, that will give us an opportunity to solve the problem and to enter the glory with the Lord. So what are the problems? Let's go back to chapter 13. In chapter 13, from verse 23, Now there was leaning on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. 24. Now Simon Peter therefore mentioned to him and asked who it was of whom he spoke. 25th. Then leaning back on Jesus' breast, he said to him, Lord, who is it? Jesus answered, It is he to whom I shall give a piece of bread when I have dipped it. Having dipped the bread, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. Verse 27. Now after the piece of bread, Satan entered him. Then Jesus said to him, What you do, do quickly. Let's skip to verse 30. Having received the piece of bread, he then went out immediately, and it was night. So then here, the Bible told us that Satan entered into the heart of Judah, that he went out in the night, and he went and he betrayed Jesus. So we are all very familiar with the passage, with the recording of the story. This piece of bread Now, sometimes you wonder what kind of magic possessed upon this piece of bread. So by eating a piece of bread, that Satan entered his heart, and then he went out, and then he betrayed Jesus. It's not about that piece of bread. It's not about that piece of bread. It's not that the bread possesses any type of magic power. That if you eat it accidentally, and then Satan enter into your heart. It's not about the bread. It's about the determination to sin. The determination. I will sin. I have to sin. No one is going to stop me from betraying Jesus. You are able to find similar recording in other Gospels. Let's turn to Matthew chapter 26. Matthew chapter 26. Matthew chapter 26, verse 22. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and each of them began to say to him, Lord, is it I? He answered and said, He who dips his hand with me in the dish will betray me. The Son of Man indeed goes just as it is written of him. But woe to that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been good for the man if he had not been born. Verse 25. Then Judas, who was betraying him, answered and said, Rabbi, is it I? He said to him, You have said it. So it is a very awkward night. On that night, somehow, it was very chaotic. It was very confusing. It was very chaotic. That the disciples, the apostles, that they were like in, there were just a lot of uncertainty on that night. So when Jesus said that one of you will betray me, apparently that there was a chaotic situation, and everyone said, "Is it I? Is it I?" But even to the point that Jesus said that the hand that dips in the same dish will be the one. Jesus said that if I give the bread to someone, that person will betray me. I mean, Jesus was being very straightforward, not to the other apostles. It's mainly for Judas. It's mainly telling Judas that I know what you are doing. Don't do it. When Jesus tried to stop Judas from betraying him, it's not that Jesus was afraid of crucifixion. It's that it doesn't need to be you, my son. It doesn't need to be you. After spend all this time, after spend all these years together, they were like father and son. They were like family, so close, so intimate. And Jesus was like, you know what? You still have time to repent. You know what? You still have a chance. That's why Jesus said it's better for that man not to be born. And Jesus did not want that to happen to Judas. So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, Jesus was giving opportunity, give warning, give hints, give tips, give cue, and say, Judas, I knew, until the very end. Until the very end, when Jesus said that out loud to Judas, if I give you this piece of bread, I know that you are betraying me. Judas took the bread and ate it. No problem. Hard-hearted. It's like his heart was so hardened that he determined, this is what I want, this is what I will do, and no one would stop me, not even Jesus. So when he took the bread, when he ate the bread, that's why Satan entered it into his heart. So when we say that when Jesus said that, yes, it's time, it is the time that the Son of Man shall be glorified. But can you come? Can you join Jesus and be part of the glory? It all depends. Even you are the follower of Jesus, even you are the disciple, even you have been believing Jesus and baptized since you were young, it all depends. It depends whether you will be so hard-hearted that, you know what, it is my will against God's will and my will triumphant. It is what I want versus what God wants, and I win. If this is your personality, it must be my way, my will. It is what I want. And nothing and no one will be able to stop me. Then you know what? You will end up like Judas, to enter into the darkness. Now the Bible says that he got up, he left immediately, and it was night. So he was entering into the pitch dark, as outside environment, as inside in his heart. Both are in pitch dark. When you determine it is my way. In Ezekiel chapter 14, if we turn to the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel chapter 14. Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 3. Let's read from verse 1. Now some of the elders of Israel came to me and sat before me. And the words of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, these men have set up their idol for their heart, and put before them that which caused them to stumble into iniquity. Should I let myself be inquired of at all by them? Other than here, the Bible says that there were some elders. The elders of Israel, they came looking, they looked like they were so sincere. Oh, I need to cry to the Lord. I need to pray to the Lord. I need to inquire of the Lord. They came to prophet Ezekiel, and they were there to inquire of the Lord. Look so sincere, so genuine, so sincere, so religious. But the Lord said to Ezekiel, told them to go away. Don't bother. Go away. The Lord said, at all, I shall not be inquired of them at all. I will not answer them. Why? Other than here, the Lord said that they have received idol inside their heart. What does that mean? Are they worshiping idol? No. Oh yeah, yes and no. Are they worshiping the image of the idol that from the like the temple, like the local Canaanite? No. What is this idol that they worship? The idol is themselves. That when they look inside, there is an idol sitting there in their heart, and the idol were carved in the exact image of themselves. My way. My will and my way. That's the idol. Despite what God said, I will insist on what I want to do. Despite what the Bible taught, I will do what I prefer to do. That's the idol. So young brothers and sisters, are you inviting idol into your heart? Knowing what God wants for you in your life, knowing what Bible tells you you shall not do, but you do it anyway. You do it anyway. Despite all the knowledge that you obtain, but you do it anyway. By doing so, like Judas, that Jesus remind him 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, don't do it, don't do it. He took the bread, he ate it, he entered into the dark. By choice. It is by choice. Do not say, oh, it's Satan, it's Satan. If you are the one that invites Satan through your disobedience, it's not about Satan, it's about you. It's not Satan's fault. It's your own choice. It's by your preference. Okay. So number one, please do remember, if you want to join the glory of the Lord, if you want to be at where He is, number one, we need to remove this stubbornness, remove this ego, remove this heart made of stone, and be replaced with a heart of flesh. That's the first thing that we need to do to join the glory of Jesus. Number two, let's go back to chapter 13. In John chapter 13, the second thing that Jesus mentioned. Chapter 13, verse 33. 33. Little children, I shall be with you a little while longer. You shall seek me, and as I said to the Jews, where I am going, you cannot come. So now I say to you. 34. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this, all will know that you are my disciple, if you have loved one another. Okay? So in here, Jesus said again, He said that not only I say to the Jew, so now I say to you. So apparently that Jesus gave the same statement to the Jewish people, also to His followers. No different. No different. Just because you are the apostle, just because you are the disciples, just because you follow Jesus for 3+ years, you were there, you were in the house, you eat and drink, and you stay with Jesus all these years. The Lord said that, what I say to the Jew, now I say unto you. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So if we look at John chapter 7, this is what Jesus said to the Jews. In John chapter 7, verse 34. John chapter 7, verse 34. From verse 33. Then Jesus said to them, I shall be with you a little while longer, and then I go to Him who sent me. You will seek me and not find me, and where I am, you cannot come. Okay? So this is the exact statement. This is a statement that Jesus said to the Jew. The same statement Jesus said to the Jew, He will say unto you and I today. Where I am going, you cannot come. Then there's a problem. Because apparently that where Jesus is where the glory is. You want to join Him. You want to be in the glory. You want to be with Jesus. But how? So right after Jesus said that where I'm going you cannot come, He followed by the statement that you need to be my disciple. If we go back to chapter 13, right after Jesus said, you cannot come, He said that I will give you a new commandment. And in 35, by this all will know that you are my disciple. So the key in order for you and I to join in His glory is to be His disciple. But how? How do we become His disciple? In here, Jesus said that I give you a new commandment, that you need to love one another. So without love, you are unable to join Jesus to where He is. So being the disciple is the key. And for all this time that as they followed Jesus, they thought that they were the disciples. In the eyes of the crowd, in the eyes of the world, they were all the disciples of Jesus. People think that they were. Just like today, so many people, they think they are Christian. Nowadays, the word Christian has been abusively used. So many people say, yeah, I believe in Jesus, I'm Christian. You Christian, I Christian, we are all Christian. But the problem is not about how you view yourself. The problem is how Jesus view you. When you say, I am the disciple, Jesus look at you and say, no, you are not. It's not how you call yourself. It's not how other people perceive you. Oh yeah, you are disciple, me too. Jesus said, no, none of you. Neither of you are disciples. So to be a Christian, the real, genuine Christian recognized by the law, they are requirements. And to be the disciple of Jesus, to be recognized by Jesus, they are also requirements. Let's turn to Luke chapter 14. Luke chapter 14. Luke chapter 14, verse 25. Verse 25. Now, great multitude went with him, and he turned and said to them, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his father and mother, wife and children, brother and sister, yes, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. So then here, again, there were great multitude followed Jesus. Follow. Like you all know about the hymn. Follow, and then follow to the end. Then Jesus said, oh, I don't know who you are. Think about it. You can follow all the way, and Jesus turned around and say that unless you do this and this and this, you are not worthy to my disciple. So all this multitude, all this great crowd, all those who are following in excitement, yeah, we are following Jesus. None of them. When Jesus turned around and said, no, you are not the disciples. You are not. Unless you do this and this and this. And what are the requirements? Other than here, we found that 3 times Jesus said, unless you do this, you cannot be my disciple. And all 3 are about love him the most. So if we take Luke chapter 14, and we go back to John chapter 13, so how do you become a disciple? Okay? Not just by coming to church, not just by attending seminars, not just by reading the Bible and being well-versed. All those are good. All those are positive. But just because those abilities, those knowledges, those actions, it doesn't guarantee you your discipleship. So, toward the foundation, toward the basis, the root, how do you become a disciple? Luke chapter 14 say, love God more than anything else. And John chapter 13 say, love one another. Okay? That's the first and second command, love God and love man. That's the summary, the conclusion of the commandments. When you love God, you will not sin, because that will cause him to be sorrowful. You love him, you don't want to make him sad, so you do not sin. It's not that it's not in fear, oh, I cannot. It's that I won't, because I would not disappoint my Lord, for I love him more than anything else. So when you love God, you will not sin against him. When you love men, you are able to show the fruit of the Holy Spirit. You have patience, you will have love, you will be kind, be meek, you will be forgiving when you love men. You will not do things against others. So that fulfill all the commandments, you will not lie, you will not deceive, you will not commit adultery. You will, all those commandments. Thou shalt not kill. All those commandments were fulfilled in loving men. So the first 4 commandments from 1 to 4 is about you and God. Loving God, you fulfill the first 4. Loving men, you fulfill the later 6. And then you have a 4 commandments dwell inside of your heart. That's how you become a disciple. So by being a disciple of Jesus, then where he is, you are able to join him in glory. Let's go back to John chapter 13. John chapter 13. And continue. If we go, if we continue to verse 36. When Simon Peter said to him, Lord, where are you going? Jesus answered him, where I'm going, you cannot follow me now. But you shall follow me afterward. Jesus said to him, Lord, why can I not follow you now? I will lay down my life for your sake. Jesus answered, will you lay down your life for me, for my sake? Now, most surely I say to you, that the rooster shall not crow till you have denied me 3 times. Now, as he continue, after Jesus say, and then Peter is like, where are you going? I'm going to go with you. Wherever you go, I follow to the end. And Jesus said, really? Peter said, I will die for you. I don't know about them though. Yeah. She said, other people, I don't know about them. But for me, I will die with you. I will die for you. I will be where you are. I will. But Jesus said, really? You will die for me? You will lay down your life for my sake? Most assuredly, I say to you that the rooster will not crow until you deny me 3 times. We know that. We all know about the story. We all know about how Peter denied Jesus 3 times. At this very moment when he said that I will die with you, he was very serious. And that's why when the soldier came and tried to take him captive of Jesus, Peter drew the sword and started cutting. Okay? Yeah, no problem. Don't take my Lord. Don't you dare. I will cut. I will kill. If I get captured, I will die with my Lord. He was serious about it. He was. But how come from such a fearless Peter to become the Peter that denied Jesus 3 times? When the human emotion, that passion, the blood rushed to the brain and the eyes turn red, you do all kinds of crazy things. But when you return to your sanity, you look at the consequence, then you become fearful. So what's the problem here? Peter was very serious when he said that I will die with you. But unfortunately, the eye that Peter saw in himself is different than the Peter that Jesus saw in his eyes. Remember what we say in the previous prayer session on Monday about self-assessment? That we need to see ourselves clearly in order to avoid the pithole in life. When you feel that, I'm strong, I'm still strong, I shall be fine, I have no problem, I'm very close to the Lord. We don't know, maybe you are very close to the edge of the cliff. I don't know what kind of life that you have in college, in your dormitory. Like what kind of people that you hang out, what kind of, conversation that you engage yourself into. Okay? Probably like your own, only you know. Only you know. We don't know. You look very religious when you are in here. We need to stop convincing ourselves. We need to stop telling ourselves, I'm fine. All right? I'm just having a close female friend. We are not boyfriend, girlfriend. We're just close. Oh, by the way, define close. Like how close? Oh no, we are just friends. Yeah, in fact, there was once I said to a brother that in my observation, you are a little bit too close to a sister. That apparently that you tend to eat together quite often on Sabbath. You walking and out together. Like, is there something? And the brother actually got offended. He snapped and said, "Why are you judging?" All right. He's like, "We are just friends. We are talking about holy work. Why?" I was like, well, all right. There's a reason that you suddenly become so emotional. There's a reason why suddenly you become acting defensive. I was like, I'll come back and talk to you when you are calm. But there's a reason that you become so offensive. Why? Am I poking you on the area that you do not want to talk about? Or you do not want to face it yourself? Why you become suddenly angry? Oh, angry. Why? Apparently why you become so sensitive suddenly? If you're just friends, just we're just friends. No, you're like, oh, no. I was like, you know what? It's not just from your reaction, it alarms me even more. But I will come back and talk to you when you are calm. Why are you so sensitive? Oh no, we're just friends. There's something. For sure there's something. But the things we try to convince ourselves, I am fine. You know what? We're just friends. We will not cross the line. We're just, from hanging out in the church, from eating during the mealtime. There are some holy work we need to talk about. Oh, I don't have time. Why don't we meet at cafe? It goes from one step to the next. And before you know it, you will be approaching me in NYTS and say, "Pastor, can we talk?" No, we cannot. It's time for me to snap. Yeah. So that in here, Peter, apparently that he was unable to see himself clearly. So he said, "I will die with you." Jesus said, "But you won't. You will deny me 3 times. So in order for you and I to join the glory of the Lord, may the Lord grant us the true courage. The true courage is not shout in emotion, say, "I will die with you." The true courage is not through the sword and start swinging. The true courage is that I am able to see I am not as strong as I thought I am. And I need your help. So may the Lord grant us the strength that we are all able to see ourselves clear. So that we know that we need to pray and implore for the power of the Lord to strengthen every one of us. Let's all come to the front.